this is Baby Shama. You're locked into Cazzy on the promo show. Can you hear me? This is a survival story. This is a Cazzy story. Ra.
Yo, Wagwan, this is Moto from St. Lucia, bigging up the promo show with Cazzy. You don't know. Lock in. Moto there.
Well, hello, everybody. Hello and welcome to another episode of the promo show with Cazzy B. We are in season 5, and this is show number 1. This is the premiere show for the new season. I am so excited about this new season, the 5th season of the promo show. So, you know, when we come in with 5 seasons, we got to do it, and we got to do it right. And we've got to make sure that you are tuned in and locked into the promo show. So now for this season, we have a few changes. As you can see, I am virtual. I'm going to be virtual, doing shows virtually as well as on location. It could be in this country, it could be abroad, wherever you are, you will still be tuned into the promo show, because we're going to be coming from you live and direct from all over the country, all over the world, wherever I am, wherever I'm traveling, you will be seeing the promo show. So without further ado, let me tell you what's happening for, I'll just give you a little bit of a summary of what's going to happen over the next few weeks as we get into this new season. So once again, good evening and welcome to everyone who is tuned in at the moment. You may not be, I didn't advertise because we wanted to just come and drop the show on YouTube. We are going to be live on Bacchanal TV throughout the season as well as the on Facebook, on Instagram, even TikTok. I've got a whole bunch of things planned for this season. So, but tonight's show is very special. Tell you a little bit more about that in a moment. So yes, this is season 5. We have been rocking and rolling since 2021, 4 years. I kind of do the school years, the academic years. So this is going to be 25 going into 26, which is our season 5. So like I said, we have many, many subjects that we're going to be covering over this season, starting with small businesses, vendors, current affairs, faction, politics. Yep, starting with politics tonight, but politics, carnival, travel, health and wellness, of course, finances, real estate. We're going to be covering a number of topics as we move forward into this new season. Cannot wait. First of all, before I introduce my guests to you, I'd like to big up my sponsors. As always, my sponsors, thank you so much for your sponsorship. Starting with Young Dreamers International. Now, Young Dreamers International, headed by my friend, Minister Samantha Samuels, is a young men for brown and black men. She mentors men. It's a academy for our young men, just kind of coaching them on life, on experiences, and getting them ready for the world ahead of us. The contact number is 404-661-0400. You can find out more information about Young Dreamers International at youngdreamersint.org. As always, Caribbean International Shipping, who are partners right here in the ATL area. They have been in business for over 30 years. They are available at caribshipatl.org for more information. And My Green Card Express. Now, this is headed by Jackie Brown. And if you do not know Jackie Brown, she is such a wonderful, wonderful lady. I love Miss Jackie Brown. But she is helping families stay together. She has her business. It's called My Green Card Express. Again, more information available at mygreencardexpress.com. Very, very simple. Now, one of the things that I wanted to, the reason why I got my first guest and I wanted him to be my first guest is because the current climate that we are in, let me tell you a little bit about the current climate that we are in. So the politics is something that I'm very interested in. I've been following a lot of the American politics for a while since I moved here, about 15 years ago. And every now and again, I have my folks from the UK, call me. They talk about things happening over in the US, and they cannot understand it. Neither can I. So I've always been in tune and very fascinated about politics. And with the government, the way it is built, there's so many branches of the government. So my very first guest, Mr. Austin Thompson, is a councilman for Lawrenceville, which is a county here in Georgia. And I have so many questions for Austin Thompson. One of the main questions is the branch of government that he is in, just to really go through and explain how that works and how that fits into the big picture. I've always been fascinated. So I am going to introduce my very first guest, Mr. Austin Thompson. He is currently in a re-election campaign for the councilman for Lawrenceville Post 3. And he is also going to explain to us what does Post 3 mean. Whether I don't know if there's a Post 1 or a Post 2, but I will have Mr. Thompson explain to us. So without further ado, I'd like to bring him to the stage. Mr. Austin Thompson, he hails from the wonderful country of Guyana. Born and bred, I believe. He will correct me if I'm wrong, but I know he was recently there. So I also want to find out about his visit to Guyana. So I am going to bring him to the stage. Good evening, Mr. Thompson.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you so much.
Good evening. Can you hear me? Can you hear me well?
I can hear you well.
Okay, good. Wonderful. Thank you for joining me on this, I would call it this amazing first episode of the promo show here in season 5. So thank you. I know it's a little late in the evening, but thank you for joining me. Mm-hmm. And okay, so I wanted to just start off by, first of all, letting my viewers know you are no stranger to the promo show or to, most of my listeners here in Georgia who have seen you before on my show and know a little bit about you. I wouldn't say you're a stranger to this platform at all.
Right.
But okay, so Mr. Thompson, hailing from Guyana, were you actually born in Guyana or of Guyanese parentage?
I was born in Guyana.
Oh, you were born in Guyana. Okay, I wasn't 100% sure, so thank you for clearing that up.
No,
and I know that you visited for Guyana over the summer.
Yes, I
quietly visited Guyana over the summer, I should say. You didn't tell anybody you were going.
Sometimes you have to walk softly,
Sometimes you do. Sometimes you do. Well, one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about, I don't know if you heard a little bit of my intro. When I first moved to the States, my daughter was a little young. She was, 7, 8. So I was learning alongside with her about the way the government is broken up here in the US. Very, very different to Europe, as you know. But I know you have the federal government, then you have the local government, and then it seems like each state operates as a mini country itself. And then break that down even further. You have the other branches of the government, the local government, and then you break that down even further when you get to the state level. And then you've got the city level, and then you've got, it's so many different branches. Yeah. So please explain to us, you are part of the Lawrenceville, I guess, civil servants in Lawrenceville, and you represent post number 3. So how do you fit into this whole organization?
Okay, well, first, I just want to say thanks again, and happy Hispanic Heritage Month.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we're celebrating Hispanic culture from September 15th to October 15th. We're also observing breast cancer and all cancers month.
Exactly. Hence my pink.
Yes, ma'am. So when we talk about government, we speak of the body that represents the people, right? On the federal level, of course, you have the administrative branch, who's headed by the president, who's the head of state and head of government. You have the legislative branch, which is the Supreme Court. And then you have the legislative branch, which is which is Congress, the House and the Senate, and then you have the judicial branch, right? The Supreme Court, right? So there's those checks and balances at the federal level, the administrative branch, judicial branch, legislative branch. When you come down to the state level, each state has the head of the state, which is the governor, right? The governor heads the state, and you have the state Supreme Court, and then you have the state legislature, right? Which is comprised of House representatives and the Senate. So you have the judicial, administrative branch, and the legislative branch on the state level. On the municipal level, you have the same thing. You have the administrative branch, which is headed by a mayor. You have the legislative branch, right? The council, right? And then you have the judicial branch, which is your city courts, right? So you have that on every level, the checks and balances that are needed across the board to ensure that we as government are doing what we're supposed to do, and that's to govern on behalf of the people, right?
Right.
In what we call a representative democracy. A representative democracy is a system where the people elect individuals to represent them, right? That's the way it's supposed to work, right?
Yes.
We in the legislative branch, right? I as a city councilor, a public servant, I serve on behalf of the people.
Right. Okay. Got it.
Exactly.
So you are representing the folks that vote you in. They're voting you in for a reason so that they can represent, and you represent people locally. So whether it's business owners, I guess residents of your city.
Right.
So you are post 3. What does post 3 actually mean?
Well, there are 4 posts to the city council. It doesn't necessarily represent a particular district or section of the city. The way our charter is set up is that we have to declare a post. So this way we know that we're running for a specific position on the city council.
Okay, got it.
Yes, ma'am. And Lawrenceville is the county seat of Gwinnett, sort of like we are the capital of Gwinnett. Gwinnett is the second largest county in the state of Georgia.
Right, gotcha. So Lawrenceville itself has 4 posts.
4 posts in the mayor, and we're considered at large. So we pretty much represent all 35,000 residents in the city of Lawrenceville. I represent all 35,000 residents in the city of Lawrenceville. I represent those who voted for me, and I represent those who did not vote for me.
Gotcha.
Because I have to give them representation too. If they're coming to me with concerns and issues, I have to listen to them, right? Even though they didn't vote for me, I still represent them.
Yes. Okay. And this is a post where this is your re-election. So you are currently in that post.
Yes, ma'am.
So you were served for how many years previously? 4?
This is my first 4-year term.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into my 4th year of my first term, and I'm running for my second 4-year term.
Okay. Okay. So you're gonna win, of course, and then after these 4 years, do you get to run for another 4 years, or do you get to run for something else?
On the city council, again, based on our city charter, all council members can run for 3 terms. Doesn't have to be consecutive, but we can have 3 terms.
Gotcha.
Right. So this is my second 4-year term that I'm running for. Now, let's say if I decided to just call it quits after 8 years and not run for my 3rd term, I can come back 10 years from now and run for another term. And
Okay, I love it. Okay, so I can definitely see you. You are a true politician. I can definitely see you running again because you do represent the people.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about the past 4 years, or the past, I guess 3, because you're in your 4th year right now. So 4 years. Let's talk about some of the things that you have achieved as councilman, and some of the programs that you run and represent, because I know you do a coffee program, and you sit and you have coffee, and that's been going for years because I see your posts all the time.
Yes, ma'am.
So just talk about some of those programs, and also now that you're running for re-election, why should the people continue to choose Austin Thompson for Lawrenceville Post 3 as their councilman?
Before I start, I just want to say I apologize for being a little stuffy. I work in the Gwinnett County Public School System as a substitute teacher, so I'm around a lot of kids. So, so I'm trying to be on my best behavior, and make sure that I'm in the best condition for this interview. So if I seem to be clearing my throat or something like that, just please excuse me.
It's okay. We'll forgive you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So over the past 4 years, past three years, and now going into our 10th month of the year, I have worked consistently in building relationships with the city and building relationships with our residents and business owners. You mentioned Coffee with Councilman Thompson. What Coffee with Councilman Thompson is, it's a twice a month coffee meeting, coffee and conversation with Councilman Thompson. It occurs on the 1st and 3rd Saturday of every month. And you can come sit with me. We can talk about Lawrenceville, I want to hear your concerns.
Yeah.
I want to hear what's on your mind. Right? So as of last Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago, I recognized 45 consecutive months of Coffee with Councilman Thompson and 90 Saturdays. 90 Saturdays. I'm looking forward to my 100th Saturday, with Coffee with Councilman Thompson. That would be phenomenal. That would be great. The consistency, I promised the constituents. I promised them engagement, and I promised them to be accessible because I'm a public servant.
Yeah.
Right? As an elected official, you are a public servant first.
Yes.
Right? Because you're there to serve your constituents and serve those to whom you were elected to serve. Right? So we have to really. A lot of people don't understand that. So Coffee with Councilman Thompson is one of those programs. I voted to lower taxes for residents and business owners in the city, because the city, the residents in our city, they're looking at the cost of living. The cost of living is increasing and increasing and increasing. Inflation, right? We're looking at jobs being lost. We're looking at cutbacks. We're looking at furloughs. Look at the state of our economy right now. I foresaw all of that before that vote came down. And I voted, I said no. I said we can't raise taxes in our city. We can't raise taxes on our small businesses, because the small businesses are the lifeline of the local economy.
Yes, of course.
So we have to give them as wide of a bandwidth that they need in which to operate successfully, right? And so by voting down taxes for our residents and business owners, what I did was listen to the residents, listen to the business owners. They didn't want taxes to be increased in the city, so I voted no to have those taxes increased.
Yeah,
right?
good.
I know I caught a lot of flack from some of my counterparts, but when you are elected to serve people, you have to listen to the people.
Yeah, and you have to represent them, like you said before.
You have to represent them, no matter who might be upset or angry. And it's one of the reasons why I have opposition, because there is some disappointment, as the word that was used, in how I vote. I also voted down some rezonings that developers came to present in order to establish developments with no affordable options in their plan, right?
Yeah.
Now, I know a lot of people come to me and they say, Councilman Thompson, it costs so much to buy a house in Lawrenceville. It costs so much to rent an apartment in Lawrenceville, you know? So affordability in housing options is another one of my concerns.
Yeah.
So I've worked with council to see how we can, look at more affordable housing options, right? And those discussions will continue into my next term because I'm looking at a possible tiny home community. We'll need to look at a rezoning and see how we can get that possible. I'm looking at 2 case studies right now in other parts of the Metro Atlanta area who have done it successfully. And I want to see the city of Lawrenceville adopt that type of plan, into our strategic plan, our comprehensive plan going forward into the next 4 years, because that's something that many of our residents are looking for. Those who are looking to downsize from bigger homes, children graduated and gone on, created their own lives. They don't need that extra real estate anymore. So they wouldn't mind having, a smaller home, 800, 900 square feet, with a cost of maybe say anywhere from like 80 to 120,000. These are much more affordable options, right, for seniors.
Oh my God. As a realtor, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
to even have those sort of prices in Gwinnett County.
Yeah. And granted, it doesn't come with the acres and the yard space and real estate at bigger homes, but it's comfortable. And if we have people who are looking for those options, we need to offer those for them.
Yeah, and that's one of the things where, if people are looking for options like that, they can stay within Gwinnett, because you don't want them to sell their home and take all that wealth and all that money and go somewhere else and spend it somewhere else. You want them to stay there. So that is definitely an option.
Exactly.
I come to your website. If anyone wants to follow Austin Thompson, go to voteforaustinthompson.com. And I'm looking at his 20-page, well, I guess it's about 20 pages of your vision plan for 2025. So please, it's very, very concise. It's very easy to read. It's easy on the eye. So go ahead and make sure you click on voteforaustinthompson.com. I also see that you are soliciting volunteers as well, so that they can help you to get the word out and spread the word. Because at the end of the day, Mr. Thompson, this is all about, like you said, word of mouth.
Yes, ma'am.
So, we have to encourage people to get out and vote in the first instance.
Yes, ma'am.
And by doing that, we need volunteers to just spread the word.
Yes,
even
ma'am.
if they don't know who you are, it's very good at least to sign up, get to know you, look at some of the goals that you have started, your engagement, your economic growth and development,
right,
small business support and so forth. And then you also have some other goals, some new goals.
Yes,
Equal access for all, the youth summit. I was very impressed about the youth summit because I have a high schooler, even though we're not in Gwinnett County, but I do like some of your, visions and goals that you are setting out for your next 4-year term.
Yes, ma'am.
So I have no doubts that you are going to, be successful. I mean, just look at you. I call you Sir Austin Thompson because I know, you're not just a politician, but you're a good person, and you are definitely for the people. You always have been.
Yes, ma'am.
One of the things that I wanted to also talk to you about is, so the achievements you've had on your first term. What are some of the plans that you are kind of looking forward to in focusing on during your second term?
Well, that's what the Austin 2.0 represents. Austin 1.0 was the first 4 years. Austin 2.0 are the next 4 years. So in addition to some of the things you just mentioned, I want to look at now how we can protect our local small businesses, especially our women-owned businesses, right? When the city received $11.5 million in ARPA funds, not $1 went to helping small businesses during the crisis. Not one. Women-owned businesses are the fastest rising segment in small businesses, but they're the first to go belly up when they hit problems. So we have to find ways in which we can help to fund some of our small businesses. Now, I am working with state representatives to identify options for our small businesses, things that they can discuss at the state legislature level, and then to see if those discussions can be transformed into line items on the state budget. Now, it's probably going to be difficult because it hasn't been done before, but there are other options that we can look at for our small businesses, right?
Right.
That's one of the things I really want to look at. Small businesses are the life cycle. They're the life cycle of our local economy. Small businesses create 66% of all net jobs in our country, right? So as a major job provider and as a lifeline for the local economy, why not protect our small businesses? Why not protect women-owned businesses? You look at the rollback of DEI programs now, DEI funding to minority businesses, Black-owned businesses, Hispanic-owned businesses, women-owned businesses, veteran-owned businesses. These businesses now are operating on less capital than they did before because of the rollback of those programs. So as a city, I would like to see what type of funding programs we can come up with in order to help our small businesses be successful, keep their doors open, and keep running, keep operating.
And keep running.
Yes, ma'am.
Unlike the government today, that today is the first full day of the shutdown. How does that affect Lawrenceville on the whole? How does that affect you in your position?
Well, you know, when you shut down the government, a lot of government workers are out of work for X number of days, months, depending upon for however long the government is shut down. So we have residents in our city who do work for the government, right? For the federal government, right? So we have to really understand, and this is why I say when you look at the cost of living, when you look at inflation, compounded to that, now you have workers who are going to be out of a paycheck for an extended period of time. We don't know for how long the government will be shut down. So we have to look at these things, you know. We really have to look at these things. Now, another item that I'm looking to move forward on was something that I started with even prior to being elected. I want to see what we as a city can do with our youth. We have 2 major high schools in the city. And I think there's so much that we can do with our high school youth and middle school youth. So I want to take that on because I'm already mentoring in the high school system and in the middle school system. And I was doing that with several youth symposium, one being the Guyana Association Youth Symposium, which I created for the Guyana Association. So, you know, my involvement with young people, personal development, you know, emotional intelligence, you know, how to handle yourself in society, how to prepare yourself to society. I look at our young people today and I say to myself, wow, what type of future will a lot of these young people have, you know? Right. But we have so many of professionals around us, you know, that we can work with in order to create programs like youth summits, you know, to keep emphasizing development, not just for the youth, but also for the parents. Because a lot of these parents are going through so much. You might have single moms, single dads. You may have a grandmother raising a young person, aunts, you know, they need help, you know, so we want to be able to create that. Now, one thing that I am looking at is adding task forces, right? The first 4 years, I was doing a lot of this on my own, but I want to create task forces like committees for each one of these things. The youth programs, job, livable wage job creation, entrepreneurship and small business development, affordable housing, homelessness. I want each task force and committee to come together and they will represent every corner of the city, because that's the other plan, is to bring people together.
Yeah.
Right? What I noticed in our city, you have folks who are in this side and they don't interact with folks on this side, and you have folks in this corner and they don't interact with folks on this corner. I want to bring people together. I want to be able to.
You have people like that on the one roof, Austin.
Yeah.
Somebody's upstairs and the other person's downstairs, and they don't even see each other.
Yes.
So if you've got that at home, of course you've got that out in the street as well and out into the cities.
Yeah.
But I know what you're saying, though. I know what you're saying. And
the one thing I say, Ms. Cazzy, government should never make decisions for people without considering the concerns and ideas of the people. It should never be top down. It should always be bottom up. We should always include the people in the decisions that we're making. So this way we're voting the way the people want us to vote, not how the system wants us to vote.
Yeah, and that's definitely easier said than done.
Yes, it is.
At the local level too. I mean, of course, we can talk about, the federal government for the next year, for the rest of this year. Yeah. But we don't want to do that. We want to focus on Lawrenceville Post 3, because this is about the re-election of Austin Thompson. So guys, if you've just tuned in, vote for austinthompson.com. You will find all of the information. Mr. Thompson has a full, and I mean full, Vision Plan 2025 on his website, so nobody can say that they didn't know what you did and they don't know what you're about to do for the next 4 years, because it's all here. He also has, a little bit of information about himself. If you'd like to volunteer, there's a form where you can sign up. And also, last but not least, he talks about the Coffee with Councilman Thompson, where you can actually go and meet. And I love the fact that you are accessible. Because that's very, very important, being accessible for the people, so they can feel comfort by asking you questions. Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
So Austin, Mr. Thompson, I should say. So tell me a little bit more about the election itself. So we've got how many days now? It's already October.
Right. So
it's already October.
Early voting begins on October 14th, and it commences and it concludes on October 31st. Right. Okay. So 3 weeks of early voting, which includes both weekends on Saturday and Sunday. Right. And then election day is November 4th. Mm-hmm. Now, early voting, you can go to City Hall at 70 South Clayton Street, Lawrenceville, Georgia, Lawrenceville City Council, Lawrenceville City Hall, on the 4th floor. And you can go from October the 14th from 9 to 5 on each day and vote. That's early voting. On election day, which is November 4th, Tuesday, November 4th, election day is from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. At City Hall. And I emphasize that because people normally think, I need to go and vote in my regular precinct where I vote for the general elections. No. For the municipal election, for Lawrenceville City Council elections, you vote at City Hall, 76 Clayton Street in Lawrenceville on the 4th floor.
Right. Okay, got it. And this is November 4th is the general election. So early voting starts October 14th, you said, or 15th?
October 14th.
October 14th, early voting starts. So, I mean, that's literally around the corner. We've got 2 weeks, and then there's early voting. And then the actual election is on November 4th.
Right.
Now,
if they go to my Vision Plan 2025, at the very end, you'll get all the election information, all the voting information, register to vote, and exactly knowing the dates and the times and location.
Yeah, very important. I was going to ask you about registering to vote, to make sure that you are registered to vote, first of all.
Yes.
To make sure that you can vote.
Right.
Because without being registered, they would not allow you to vote. We want to make sure that people do get registered. And, Just with everything that's happening right now, the climate that we're in, the federal government is shut down. That's affected a lot of people. I work in the travel industry. It's affected, people at the airport and so forth, because they're all part of the federal government.
Right.
And then you also have, this thing about the climate that we're living in, where, people are like still trying to make ends meet. They're still trying to get themselves together. They're still trying to feel comfortable about voting for folks who will represent them.
Mm-hmm.
What guarantees can you offer, or as a comfort, I should say, not necessarily a guarantee, but more of a comfort to represent the people as you say you will? Because people have a distrust for politicians, I should say.
Yeah.
So what can you reassure your folks and the people who vote for you and who follow you, that you can give them some sort of level of comfort?
Well, what I always say is, look at my track record. Look at my performance in the previous 3 years and now going into 10 months. My track record shows that I am a servant of the people. Let me tell you, when you pay taxes in the city or in the state, the county, the federal taxes, you need representation. Those taxes guarantee you representation. As a taxpayer, you deserve representation. That's one of the hallmarks of my career as a public servant, is to ensure representation for my constituents. My track record shows that, even my voting record shows that I support the people's concerns and their ideas, right? So what I am guaranteeing is that I will be your representative, not the system's representative, but I will be your representative at the seat of the table, because you matter, your concerns matter, your ideas matter, and I want to make sure, as you elect me into that position, that I am representing your concerns, your ideas, and what matters to you.
Right. Amen to that. Amen to that. Oh, let me try my new applause, because we need to oh, I like that. That's important. Okay, so yeah, that's what we want to hear. That's what we want to hear. That's what people want to hear. Yeah. And because you're also accessible, don't forget the coffee with Councilman Thompson, because you're also accessible, they can come and they can talk to you.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
Face, to the name. So yeah, so thank you for that. Thank you for that. I do have another question. Where I've said the website a couple of times. Where else can they follow you? How do they get in contact with you? Drop all your social media if you can.
So I primarily use Facebook. So on Facebook, Austin Thompson for Lawrenceville. Austin Thompson for Lawrenceville.
Okay.
I tell people, hey, please get in touch with me. My phone number is public. My email address is public. I am public. It's really hard for me to know each and every single individual and their concerns and their ideas. But I want you to say, let me call Councilman Thompson and see if I can meet with him. My coffee with Councilman Thompson meetings, which are twice a month, you do not have to RSVP. RSVP is not mandatory. It only helps me to know who's coming to see me. And
nice.
Coffee is on me. Coffee is on me. Wow. Now, if you want a full course breakfast, you're going to have to pay for that.
Also, we can't come for breakfast?
Yeah, you can come for breakfast. I'll only pay for the coffee. That's what I'm saying. But coffee is always on me, because people, I cannot emphasize this enough. You pay taxes to whatever entity, whether you're the county, the city, the state, federal. You have people who are elected to serve you. You have to engage your public servants. You have to hold us accountable. Be careful of those who come to you to seek your vote, because not everybody is going to represent you. I have opposition because certain folks are uncomfortable and disappointed in the way I vote because I'm expected to vote with the city all the time. That is not representative democracy. That is more representative of an autocracy where those who sit at the head want everybody to vote the way they want them to vote. That is not a democracy. A democracy is when the people participate in the governance of their city, their state, their county in the U.S., and we have to really be active. If I was a public, private citizen, I want to know that the people who are elected to serve me are working for me. I want to know that they're working for me. So I want you to know I'm working for you. I don't care who gets upset. I don't care who's uncomfortable. I don't care who's disappointed. I represent the people, and that's that. That's why I was elected.
And that's how it should be.
That's how it should be. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, one of the things I wanted to finish with you on is a quick question. This came up last week, and I wanted to get your view on this particular topic. Yes, topic of free speech.
Yes, ma'am.
So this came up last week with of course very publicly with Jimmy Kimmel, who talk show host.
Yeah.
Where he said something about government, which wasn't particularly liked. It actually wasn't that bad either. It wasn't something that warranted him being taken off. But anyway, it wasn't liked, and it got a lot of backlash because the people, i.e., us. We took a stand. Everybody took a stand. Yes, and the large company at fault lost a lot of money because people came together. Similarly with what's happening with, I guess, the Target boycott. When people come together for a common goal, it speaks volumes.
Yes, ma'am.
So as a result, of course, Jimmy Kimmel is back on TV, and everything is well with the world again. But it brought the question up about free speech. So why do you think people are being silenced or trying to be silenced, I should say? And why do you think it's touching a nerve so much now, within the climate that we're in?
Well, as a country, we have constitutional rights. Mm-hmm. The First Amendment guarantees us the right to freedom of free speech, the right to assemble, the right to protest peacefully, right? Yeah. I participated in the hands-off movement, if you remember that early this year, and the No Kings protest. I participated in both. And I remember the hands-off protest, remember Black people were being told to stay home.
Yeah.
Stay home because they only want you to come out there so they can kill you and beat you up and do whatever dastardly thing to you. I'm from Georgetown. I'm from Lodge.
So you ain't stay home at all.
I stay home at all. I dine out there, as we would say in our Creolese, right? I dine out there, But we have a system now that's resembling the systems that we always spoke out against. We always spoke out against Russia, the Kremlin. We always spoke out against North Korea. We always spoke out against China, because these systems, which are more autocratic, right, more authoritative, we always considered them repressive government systems.
Right.
But what we have now is a president who is adopting the styles of these governments, of these government models, where he's censoring the media. He's pulling the plug on media outlets. Don't you dare say anything against the president.
Yeah.
People don't have the right to free speech. You had a U.S. senator who was asking a question at a press conference, who was jumped on by law enforcement and arrested at a press conference where he only asked a question. So we're attacking our lawmakers, You see now people can't protest freely. They can't speak freely. Even if you're speaking honesty and truth.
Yeah.
Something that we hold dear in the United States of America. The freedoms that we have here in America that you can't enjoy in other countries are some of the reasons why people move to the United States. Because I want to be able to, I see this is a country as a place where people respect freedom. They respect freedom of speech, freedom, to express your ideas and your thoughts without being attacked. But now we see this from this president, from this administration. We see now, if you're working for certain agencies like the CDC, the Veterans Administration, the IRS, any of these government administrations, you can't even speak out against what's happening to your agency, right? So
you can't even speak the truth.
You can't even speak
the truth. It's just the truth.
Facts
Something
are being
as simple as the truth. Yeah.
Facts are being compromised. You remember during the first administration, the first Trump administration, where the Health and Human Services and the health agencies were not even allowed to report COVID data. They were not allowed to, because the number of deaths from COVID were not allowed to be reported.
Yeah.
They're telling you to drink bleach and Clorox and all of these things. So we're going through a period now where we as Americans really have to come together and stand firm.
Yeah.
And speak truth and speak facts.
Yeah.
Speak facts.
And, it's funny because I watch a lot of the talk shows. I'm home a lot, so I have the talk shows on, and Whoopi Goldberg, The View. She always says, we are all in this together.
Yes, we are.
She ends by saying that, and it's so true, because it kind of feels like, oh my God, we literally just have to stick this out for another few years.
Yes,
Mind you, the next year will be interesting. I know your election is coming up this year, November 4th, 2025. But November 4th, 2026 is going to be an interesting day.
Yes, ma'am.
November 4th, 2026 is going to be very interesting. I really want to try to encourage people, and I'm going to do my part, even though my little outlet here is small. I'm going to do my part to encourage people to make sure they continue to register to vote. They continue to listen, and not be so gullible when it comes to certain things like, lowering the cost of eggs or groceries, because I think people kind of just took one thing and ran with it. Yeah. So I want to really just, lend my whatever voice I have here to make sure and encourage people to register to vote, make sure they stay in tune. November 4th, 2026 is a very, very important date in the calendar.
Yes, ma'am.
You know what I mean? As we go forward.
Yes, ma'am. And we look at what's happening, with the tariffs, attack on immigrants. We see farmers losing business. They're losing their farms.
Yeah.
We see in the construction industry, the workers are not coming to work. We see in the retail industry, workers are not coming to work. And in any other industry where they hire large amounts of immigrants, right? They're not coming to work. So these companies now are falling by the wayside. They're falling economically. And it's causing a massive hiccup in this country, right? The tariffs, the amount that the importer pays, right, for goods being brought into the U.S. I mean, all around we see trouble. Yeah. We see
just
trouble.
Just a delivery of certain goods. I was recently, part of that and affected by that. When the new phone came out, I haven't had a new phone in maybe 2.5 years. So I said, okay, as soon as the phone comes out, I'm gonna get mine. The new iPhone. I'm an iPhone person, not a Samsung, not a what do you call it? Android. I'm not Android. I'm Team iPhone.
Right.
So I ordered my phone, and it said it's gonna be here in a month. And I'm like, ooh, a whole month. Well, they said if you order the blue one, because the orange one's really popular. If you order the blue one, it will come in 2 weeks. So I'm like, okay, I'll get the blue one. I ordered the blue one. They said it's going to come in 2 weeks. The day before it was due to be delivered, they said, oh, it's going to be here in a month. And I'm
Wow.
like, what? You just told me it's going to be here in 2 weeks. And
Yeah.
then I canceled it because, you know, I'm going to be out the country and I don't want it to come while I'm not here. So I canceled it, going to order it later. But the fact is that it went from 2 weeks to a month. And just the day before, they could not guarantee me when I will get this phone. And that is because it's not being made in China anymore. You know, they're
Right.
trying to get US workers and trying to
Right.
get production is slower. The overall, you know, the moral of the story is production is a lot slower.
Right.
Things are coming out a lot later. You're not getting things when you expect to get them anymore. No one can guarantee a day anymore like back in the day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's affecting everybody.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So we really have to find ways to buckle down. Just the other day, I posted a picture of peaches on my Facebook page. 1 unit cost of a peach, $1.32. $1.32 for 1 peach. And I said,
local here in Georgia, and we are the state of
the peach state. Look, just direct me to a farm. Let me go pick my own peaches, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, you know, so we have to look at these things. You have to look at the common price of groceries, you know, just milk, eggs, cheese, butter, you know, rice, the staple products, right?
Exactly.
It's just, you know, it's just something you just got to, you know, be able to buckle down and just try to figure out how we get around it. How do we get around it? Yes, ma'am.
It's scary stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I have to commend you for, you know, sticking with the people and doing what is right for the people. You are truly a representative for your constituents right there in Lawrenceville, in Gwinnett County, in particular Lawrenceville. So thank you for that. So vote for Austin Thompson. Vote for Austin Thompson. That's all they need to do.
That's
vote
right.
For Austin Thompson.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Tuesday, November 4th, Austin Thompson, Lawrenceville City Council Post 3. If you want a real servant who is going to look after you and consider you when I'm at that seat at the table, I am the man for Post 3 to continue my 4 years. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for being my very first guest on season 5 of the promo show. There's going to be so much more to come, and I'm sure we'll be celebrating you. November 4th, I will be watching. If I can do anything else to help, please let me know. I'm going to be posting. Actually, there is something I can do to help. I know you have an event coming up. Let me see if I can bring that to the screen so we can talk about it.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so this is what's coming up Sunday, October 5th. Sunday, October 5th. So talk us through this event.
All right. So really quick, I've had several fundraisers from different communities. The African community was great at giving me one 2 weeks ago. The Hispanic community, we're coming together on October the 13th at D Floridian. That's an event I'm hosting. And the Caribbean community of Caribbean leaders have come together and said, hey, we want to do a fundraiser for you too. So this is going to be at Kingston 30 here in Lawrenceville, Kingston 30 Jamaican restaurant. And they are donating the space. And I just want to say, hey, look, when you come, you know, please support the restaurant. Support the restaurant because Kingston 30 supports service. They support those who look out for the community. And they do a great job as a restaurant. They have great food, too. I just want to say that, right?
Yes,
Kingston 30, then that's at 455 Grayson Highway. If you live in Lawrenceville and you're familiar with the shopping plaza, it's the same shopping plaza with Kroger and the voter registration office. So come on out this Sunday from 4 to 6 at Kingston 30 Jamaican Restaurant. It's and you don't have to be Caribbean to support. You know, you don't have to be Caribbean to support. We're doing.
You just have to love food because, like you said, the food is going to be good.
Right. That's right. And it takes money, it takes resources to really run great campaigns. So I really thank all of the communities that have come together to support me and to help me get to where I need to get to.
Yes. So I will definitely echo that. Kingston 30 Jamaican restaurant. I've heard nothing but good stuff coming out from the restaurant. So if you love Caribbean food, if you love Jamaican food, of course, you've got jerk, curry, festivals, rice and peas, you name it. It's going to be delicious.
Right.
And you will in turn get to meet Austin Thompson.
Yes.
And support the restaurant.
Yes. And they have a very expansive menu. So, you would love it.
Yes, for sure. So make sure you come out and support Mr. Thompson. So again, thank you so much for joining us. So whilst you're there, I'm gonna bring one other thing to the stage that I wanted to talk to you. You can help me support my sponsors, and I know you know all of my sponsors very well.
Mm-hmm.
They are businesses here from around the Caribbean, so we are going to bring that information to the stage right now. So here we have, so all my sponsors, so thank you so much. As I said, we've got the Young Dreamers International.
That's right.
Miss Samantha Samuels.
That's right.
Every child deserves a chance and an opportunity. And of course, Caribbean International Shipping.
Yes. That's right.
Here in the Caribbean, mygreencardexpress.com.
That's right.
Brown, another great business. Now, advertise your business. This is season 5, guys. I need you to work with me. Your logo could be here. Come and advertise with me. Let's get the word out. Your events, your flyers. This is season 5. We've been doing this for 4 years. Coming up to 4 years. So I'm excited about this new season. Like I said, lots and lots in store. You may see me out on the road, Mr. Thompson.
That's right.
I'm going to be out and about. I might even come to the restaurant.
Yeah, please.
And I do a show from the restaurant. I do want to try to connect with a lot of Caribbean businesses and go out to the businesses during this season. So whenever I'm able to, that is the plan as we move forward with this season. And I do, my bit for the community too. So I just want to thank you. I know it's late, and you got to go take care of yourself because you got coffee coming up, and you got a restaurant coming up on Sunday, and you got to get yourself better.
And really quick, the next 4 Saturdays will be only for an hour. I do these from 9 to 11, so it'll be from 9 to 10. So I got to get out and hit the doors. But for the next 4 Saturdays, I will be reviewing Vision Plan 2025 with anybody who comes and see me. We're going to be discussing my vision for the next 4 years. Lawrenceville, a city of the future, diverse, equitable, and inclusive for all.
And that is, yes, of course. And that is available at voteforoustinthompson.com. So make sure you go onto the website and get all of the information and get it ahead of time. So I just want to thank you. We're going to end the show. So thank you very much. I am right at an hour. Look at that. Right on time. So thank you very much, Mr. Thompson.
Thank you so much.
And, I will be sharing that flyer, and we will be seeing you again soon.
Yes,
and I know that you got 4 more years of this.
That's right.
4 more years is coming up.
And I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Well, thank you very much, sir. Have a good night.
All right. You too. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye-bye. So there you have it, guys. Voteforoustinthompson.com. And on that note, that is episode 1 of season 5 of the promo show. So thank you again for tuning in, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Yo, Wagwan, this is Moto from St. Lucia, bigging up the promo show with Cazzy. You don't know. Lock in. Moto there.
Well, this is Baby Shama, you're locked into Cazzy on the promo show. Can you hear me? This is a survival story. This is a Cazzy story. Rock.